Hi, hello. Today we are doing a full face of Rare Beauty, rocking a messy bun. Got my iced coffee. I'm just a live, laugh, love away from a Hobby Lobby decor. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to prime my face with the Illuminating primer. I also have a pore blurring primer, which I did get in PR, but it was not my favorite, so I passed it along to a family member. But this has a gorgeous iridescent sheen, and I love to be glowy, so this is going on before everything. I already, prepped with moisturizer and etc. It leaves your skin looking like glass. And before I go on to foundation, something that I enjoy doing is taking their Always an Optimist 4-in-1 spray, and it is a bi-phase spray, so it's got oil and water, so it's going to look separated. And the instructions say to give it a good shake, and it has a super fine mist. And that is going to just even further bring the glow, because the complexion product I have, I don't have the original foundation, but I do have their Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer, and I wear the shade 12C, and it is pale girl friendly, that is for sure. I want my base to be super glowy because this has more of a natural matte finish. It's not super drying matte, but it is matte. And this, of course, is the Rare Beauty little foundation brush. It is a skin tint, so it's going to knock back some redness and discoloration and really even out my skin tone, but it's not going to offer a lot of coverage. But this is really a long-lasting skin tint, and it really is similar to the Fenty Ease Drops, but I actually prefer this one better because it sits better on my skin. It doesn't emphasize any dry texture like those drops did, so this one looks really nice, and admittedly, I don't reach for it as much as I should. Because I have dry, dehydrated skin in the winter, I do need to prep with these, hydrating and glowy products. But in the summer, I have used this just by itself, and looks fantastic. Let me scoot in close here so you can see how it's sitting on my texture. It's sitting really nicely. The nose crack is like my tell if something's gonna sit nicely and in between my eyebrows, because I'm dry and just flaky in those areas. And another strange thing that I like about it is it has the expiration date right here on the product, because it has sunscreen in it and because it's good to know. Let's be real, all of us have makeup that's way too old, but we use it anyway. Next, I'm taking their Brightening concealer. This is one of my top 3. That's a bold statement. This is one of my top 3 concealers. If you like a moisturizing, creamy concealer, this is the deal. I wear the shade 140C. We all know the Rare Beauty packaging is super aesthetic, and I really like the shape of this applicator. It is unique, and it's almost like I can just stamp it. Boop. This concealer offers me from sheer to medium coverage, depending on if you build it up or not. I just really love the formula. This is like my 3rd or 4th bottle of it. It's something I highly recommend, and I'm going to take the Rare Beauty little concealer brush, which is just the little baby version of the foundation brush. It's supposed to mimic a finger, and the bristles are so densely packed that it is going to ensure that you keep the coverage. So the closest concealer I can compare this one to would be the Kosas concealer. Their formulas feel very similar, and in terms of creaminess and kind of the initial coverage that you get. But I do like that this concealer is pretty close to my skin tone, but it still is, like the name suggests, brightening. Alright, the concealer is on. It has brightened the center plane of my face, and the coverage level with the skin tint is perfect. It's not so full coverage that it makes the skin tint look strange and give you a reverse raccoon. Now this one, because it's ultra creamy and ultra hydrating and the formula is emollient, it does crease on me, so I have to set it with the powder. But I am going to wait a moment to do that. I'm going to let, as I sit here and talk, I'm going to let everything move how it wants to, and then I can tap out the creases and powder from there. Now I'm going to warm up my complexion with their bronzer stick. I am in the shade Power Boost, and I really enjoy this. It is definitely a bronzer and not a contour because it is warm. It is a like cream to powder finish, so I really enjoyed wearing it during the summer months when I was sweating everything off. And if you have an oilier skin type, you also might find that you enjoy this. But it's super easy to blend out. It's really agreeable with other products that I've used with it, but it really takes hardly any time at all to just blend it out. Okay, here is the bronzer all blended out, and because I went in with the dewy of the dewiness, it also looks dewy. So this is a great one that's adaptable to the products that you're wearing underneath. So it does have that cream to powder finish, but whatever you have underneath, it's still going to mimic. So that powder finish just really ensures longevity. So this is a great bronzer, and Rare Beauty is kind of in that in between where they're not prestige and luxury. They're on the lower price range side of things at Sephora anyway. I'm going to take the liquid highlighter in the shade Enlighten, and this is a ton of highlighter. It's 15 ml, so half an ounce. A normal foundation is 1 fluid ounce, so this is a ton of highlighter. So I guess if you find a shade that you really enjoy, you could put it on your body. And so I'm going to take just dots of this where I want to highlight, and I'm doing this before blush because I like to look glowy from within. They have a plethora of shades, but this shade really gives glass skin. And a little goes a long way, but it's easy to work with, and it doesn't break up the products underneath, which that would be a shame. Very good. If you find a shade that you enjoy, you're going to have highlighter for the rest of your life because that's a lot. But it is super sheeny and gorgeous. Sheeny and shiny and shamazing. For blush today, I am using their Nearly Rose blush. This is one of their melting blushes. I've not tried this formula on my skin yet, so very excited. I have tried their blushes, the liquid blushes in, the same similar packaging, and those are also very good. I suggest buying minis of those blushes because, once again, highly pigmented, will last you your entire life. These are called melting blushes because they are solid, but as soon as you swirl your finger in, you can feel it like melting. And it reminds me of coconut oil, how it's solid at room temperature, but when you touch it, it starts to melt. So Nearly Rose is a very pink shade. And ignore my one nail that's missing. That's nice. I did not intend to blend that out with my finger, but it just was so easy that it kind of happened. Let's try it with a brush too. Oh, it blends out super easy. And I'm just like, boop. Rare Beauty is always really conscious of skin tones and undertones and depths and saturations, so you can guarantee that everything from Rare Beauty is going to be pigmented enough to cover a range of skin tones. Let's do the I'm Cold look. I'm going to take that in like a W shape and a little on the Cupid's bow when you're like, what, that looks crazy, but when you're cold your lips get chapped. A little on the chin and a little up on the forehead as well. So I can definitely see why everybody loves these blushes. I mean, of course you get the Polly Pocket vibes with the packaging, but these would be fantastic to give to someone younger who is, you know, just starting out in makeup and they need a texture like this that's so easy to work with. I mean, it would be amazing. And two, it's got a little mirror in it, so I could totally see this being a purse product as well, because you just boop, 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 and bippity boppity boop, you're done. So, really impressed with these. I hope they come out with more shades. From what I've seen online, the shades are all pretty similar. So, I would love like a deep wine, almost burgundy color in this. Maybe there's one. I don't know. Let me know. All right, I'm going to set really quickly with another top 5 favorite product out of all my products, and that is the Rare Beauty Light Setting Powder. I love the component. This little drawer just slides so you can tap out the product and then it slides shut and it clicks closed so it's not going to spill everywhere. So I just poured a little bit into the cap. This light shade has a hint of peachy pink to it. Not as bright as like the Huda pink powder or the Westman Atelier powder that I love. It's just barely there. So I'm going to tap out those creases because the concealer did crease. And this powder has a touch of luminosity to it. So it's going to set and help everything stay in place, but it is not going to look dry and cakey. A little goes a long way. And it does have just the slightest touch of coverage in it, but as you can see, the light shade is light enough to where it's not darkening my under eyes or any other places where I'm putting it. So can't rave enough about the Rare Beauty powder. I really, really like it. Really enjoy it. And I feel like it's a product from Rare Beauty that doesn't get enough hype. Like the blushes always get hype, but the powder is top notch. Alright, next up I'm going in with the liquid eyeshadow in the shade Nearly Rose to match the Nearly Rose blush. What I really appreciate about Rare Beauty packaging is like the lipsticks and this, it is flat, so when you lay it down on the counter it doesn't roll around, just a little touch. And this is a pink shade. It looks like it has a touch of shimmer in it. We'll see if it shows up on the lid. I've not used this on my face before. Well, anywhere else for that matter. So I'm just going to spread it on. Use a brush to help me blend. I'm going to take my blending brush and just tap a little of the shadow on there. So, because it's so similar to the blush shade, I'm just going to like fade that into the blush. Fade it into nothingness. I would say it has like a medium opacity. Because I can still kind of see my veins underneath. So I'll do the other side, but I'm hesitant to build it up because it's so creamy. I don't know if it's going to pick itself up. But for the sake of science, we'll try that. Okay, let's add more and see what happens. Because it did sheer out quite a bit, and I'm going to just take my ring finger. Okay. Yep, built up pretty nicely if you can tell the difference. I would love to see these in so many colors. I know the colors they have are just kind of meh. Very pink. Even the apricot and the neutral, I have heard, they all kind of lean very pink. We'll take that on the lower lash line. So really going for a sickly look today. I'm just taking more of that melting blush and really emphasizing that connection. So the melting blush in Nearly Rose is very, think like bubblegum pink, cool tone pink, and the liquid eyeshadow in Nearly Rose is warmer. It has more orange and yellow in it, so they're not exactly the same color. And if you have both like I do, you don't want them to be the same color, but it is interesting that they are different undertones. To help me blur my edges, I'm just going to take some more of that powder onto a fluffy brush and just gently wash over the edges of my shadow. And two, I don't know how long lasting this liquid shadow is, so if it's going to want to travel, this powder step is going to prevent that. Take the highlighter, the doe foot, and place that in my inner corners. Just blend it out into nothing. I love a bright inner corner. Take that underneath my brow bone. And even though I put powder there, the liquid is still fine. Alright, moving on to brows. I do have the Shape and Fill Duo, and I am in the shade Auburn. Now this is unique. It opens up. You've got a very tiny little mirror. And on the end, you can pull this out and you have your angled brush. And then, but wait, there's more. The world's tiniest spoolie. It is so cute, but functionality. So this does live in my purse because when I don't have my brows dyed, they are just straight blonde. I like to keep something in my purse that I can throw in my brows just to bring my face some life, and this is super convenient. One is a wax and the other is a powder. So I'm going to use the whole system as intended. Start with the wax. And just brush it through. This angled brush is okay. I do wish it was smaller, like thinner. And I like the color of this wax, but it feels very powdery on the skin. It doesn't feel sticky. So, I mean, the difference is dramatic for me. So I'll take the world's tiniest spoolie and brush it through. The color of the wax is very similar to my natural hair color. And the color of the powder is a little warmer. So it really matches like the copper tones, because I'm a natural strawberry blonde, but I get a copper glaze on top. So I'm going to take the powder and just fill in any gaps that I may have missed. They claim the wax is waterproof. I have not tested that, but the powder is really just to set the wax, or you could use each of them on their own. Alright, there is the brows on. Just final thoughts. I do appreciate the color that they chose for Auburn. It is not pure orange. But this is purely color. It's not going to hold your brow hairs up. It's not going to give you a laminated look. It really does just put color down. And the two formulas, the wax and the powder, are so similar that you really could use one or the other. So you could think of it like, oh, I'm getting twice as much product, or you could think of it as like, one of those products isn't what it claims to be, so it's not worth it. Depends on how you like to look at life. So I do like the color. I do like the convenience of it all. So, I mean, they're trying something. Innovation is what we're looking for because everything has been done. So, good job, Rare. Even the mirror that I use every single day is Rare Beauty. I have Rare Beauty clips that they sent me in PR. I think I'm a fan.
Okay, now I am taking the mascara from Rare, and this is just the mini size, and I love the formula. This really does wonders for volumizing the lashes, but the component in the mini version, the wand is just a little too close, and I find it hard to get all the way in my lashes, but
the mascara is good. I need to go ahead and get a full size of this. This is so good. And not too long ago now, Rare launched lip liners and lipsticks. So I picked up two. I got the Kind Words matte lip liner in the shade Humble and the shade Wise. So Humble is more pink and they twist up, which is nice and convenient, and the bottom does pop out. And you have a sharpener, which I literally never use, but they are very creamy. They don't tug at the lips. And they are waxy enough to be pretty long lasting. Because if a lip liner is too creamy and too slippy, it's going to slide around on you. But these lip liners are a good, solid matte formula. And as far as her lipsticks, I have the shades Wise, which is like a 90s burgundy color on me. I like it so much. And I also have the shade Lively, and these are matte lipsticks, and the component, you just push the in and pull it out like that, which is fun. Flat edge so it doesn't roll around. And here is Lively. So with the vibes today. Humble lip liner and Lively lipstick go really well together, but I believe each lipstick has a corresponding liner of the same tone and name. And these are a comfortable matte, but you can tell it's matte. Matte textures are not my favorite because they emphasize the lines of my lips. And if I had maybe exfoliated and better moisturized my lips, that would be diminished some. But I always buy matte lipsticks and then I go over them with a gloss, so that's a me thing. But the lipstick is really good. It's nice and smooth. And once it's on, it doesn't feel like there's anything on my lip. I'm going to finish everything off with one more soaking of the Always an Optimist 4-in-1 Mist. Kind of set everything in and set down any powder. Alright, I put in my Rare Beauty clips, and here is the finished look. Really simple, fresh, glowy. Selena with this brand is going all for just like effortless chic, if you will. And I know she donates a portion of her proceeds to her charity, which is for support of mental health, so we love that. And let me give you a quick top 3. First, the concealer. The concealer is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it is my gallon of like sweet tea because I'm from the South. So I really love the hydrating aspect of it. I love the like sheer to medium coverage it gives, and I like that it is brightening but it doesn't look like crazy cakey. Fantastic. My second of the top 3 would definitely be the powder. This powder will set and give you longevity without sucking the moisture out of your skin, without taking away any luminosity or skin-like finish that you've created. And I really like that there's just a touch of coverage to it, so I can cover a blemish or, you know, set my under eyes, and it helps combat the darkness that I have. So finely milled, never looks cakey. Powder, absolutely. Oh, and the last recommendation would have to be the mascara. This is like one of the most volumizing mascaras that I have tried, and I've tried so many. It gives you so many lashes. You'll be like, what? I did not know I had that many lashes. So I think this is called the Perfect Strokes Mascara. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was my number 3, absolutely top of the top. So let me know 3 things down below. What is your favorite Rare Beauty product? What is something you're wanting to try from Rare Beauty but you haven't yet? And 3, what do we want to see next from Rare Beauty? Let me know those 3 things in the comments below, and I'll know you're a real ride or die and you've watched till the end. As always, be blessed and be kind. I appreciate you so much for watching. Let me know what one brand you'd like to see next, or anything else. I'm up for suggestions. Don't forget to follow me over here on Instagram and TikTok, and we will talk again soon. Bye.